Ladies and gentlemen, from the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace and Justice, Deacon Gerald Celente.
Hello, this is Deacon Celente of the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace and Justice. And our freedom, our peace, and our justice is being stolen from us right in front of our eyes. In America, it's become a communist, fascist nation. By their deeds you shall know them. The communism of forcing people to get vaccinated, the communism of telling people that anything that they don't believe that the authorities tell them is misinformation. Communism, watching every step we take, every breath we take, they're watching you. Communism. The leaders tell us what to do, the governors, the mayors, the presidents, the prime ministers, the chancellors. Fascism. According to Benito Mussolini, the prime man of fascism, fascism is, quote, the merger of state and corporate powers. That's right. The state and corporate powers. The banks are too big to fail, they get bailed out. We're going to build chips and we're going to give the money to the manufacturers so they could do what they want. I am a big real estate or developer. I want tax breaks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But not for the people. We'll get every penny from you. Fascism, the merger of state and corporate powers. Governments of Europe, the United States, buying up corporate bonds. Hey, their bonds mean a lot. You're just nothing, nothing. Communism. They banned our rally that we had, along with Occupy Peace, on July 23rd. We sent out thousands and thousands of press releases over the course of 3 weeks. No international, national, or local news coverage, although we blasted them with all that information, having top speakers there. Judge Andrew Napolitano, Gary Null, Scott Ritter, former CIA official Phil Giraldi, and the deacon. Place was packed, people out in the streets. No coverage. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That was the Declaration of Independence. Happiness is never a word that's used anymore, any place, anyhow. Every day it's more and more murderous wars and dictatorial mandates imposed upon we the people. We have no liberty. We only have to do what we're told. Yep. Life bombs away. What war do you like that they start the most? How about all those poisons and the pesticides in your food and your water and the air? Oh, and all you people talking about climate change? Oh, the climate's really changing over there in Ukraine. With all the bombs and weapons and missiles that the United States and NATO sent to keep this war going. And we're totally opposed to Russia's invasion, to get it straight on both sides. We're for peace, freedom, and justice. The natural liberty of man is to be free from any superior power on earth. Oh, no. That was Samuel Adams that said that. That's not allowed anymore. How dare you say that? Our politicians and our authorities are superior powers. We're just stupid little people. Again, it was banned by the media. Twitter and Facebook stopped running our ads. If we would have held a rally that was pro-Ukrainian, they would have covered it. But because it was anti-war and pro-peace, they blacklisted it. One of my tenants in a place called Rough Draft, a beautiful building that I redid, the 1774 Academy, doing a great business there. They put up this sign because of a political rally. Political rally? How defaming. This is from Occupy Peace and the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice. If anything, we're political atheists. We believe in a higher God. So they denounced us for holding a peace rally and a freedom rally. That shows you the mentality of these people who are very pro-vax and very pro-authority. The natural liberty of man is to be free from any superior power on earth and not be under the will or legislative authority of man, but only to have the law of nature for his rule, said Samuel Adams. The law of nature is not permitted anymore. You must get vaccinated. You must not honor the founding fathers like George Washington, who said that the people should, quote, observe good faith and justice towards all nations, cultivate peace and harmony with all. Observe good faith and justice towards all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony for all. How disgusting, George Washington. That's how he would be looked at today by the politicians and the media. Yep. He warned that any nation which, quote, indulges towards another in habitual hatred, as they've taught us since I've been born in 1946 to hate Russia, or an habitual fondness, like I've been taught to love NATO, is in some degree a slave. And that's what we've become. Plantation workers on the global plantation of Slavelandia. How dare the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice hold a peace and freedom rally? How terrible. How demeaning, how un-American in the communist fascist state of America today. By their deeds you shall know them. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Anything that I said that's inaccurate, please inform me. Yep. So instead of observing good faith and justice to all, the military-industrial complex and the media just keep selling war. And the media sells the people because, quote, the American people don't believe anything until they see it on television. Yeah, how stupid can you be to watch that terrible, terrible propaganda? Selling what they want to sell and giving only one side and blacklisting anyone that comes out for freedom, peace, and justice. I used to be on Oprah, the Today Show, Good Morning America, Fox, you name the station, NPR, CBS, ABC, Good Morning America, yeah, Today Show, one after another. So why can't I be on Speaking of Peace? What I believe I need to know, and by the facts, and what I need to do by the facts. Facts aren't allowed. So all you people that are worried about climate change and pollution, you better start talking out against these weapons. Judge Andrew Napolitano and I did a interview, a podcast this past week. It's called, about how the government has stole our rights from us and the government's in charge. We've lost our freedom. And we lost our freedom of speech. And they keep ramping up war. Pelosi vows ironclad defense of Taiwan. That was his past headline in the Wall Street Journal on Thursday. Ironclad defense? That's not my country. This has been going on. Did you know anything about the Ming Dynasty or anything? Oh, no, none of that. None of that counts. America is the most warmonger nation in the world since the end of World War II. By their deeds, you shall know them. The Vietnam War, Korean War, the 2 Iraq wars, the Afghan War, the Yemen War, the Libya War, the Syria War, Iraq, Afghanistan, again, Syria, Libya. Can anybody count them up? And now at war with Russia. Russia says United States is directly involved in Ukraine war. And this is from their defense minister or ministry. And they claim that Ukraine's deputy head of military intelligence said that they admitted to the Telegraph newspaper that Washington coordinates the HIMARS missile strikes. All this is undeniably proves that Washington, contrary to White House and Pentagon claims, is directly involved in the conflict, the Russian defense minister said. And now they're ramping it up with China. I guess this would be banned from the media today as well. Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. That's not allowed. That was from John F. Kennedy, who I believe was assassinated because he didn't want war, the Vietnam War. Right after he was assassinated, Lyndon Johnson took us into the Iraq War. Guns and butter, remember that one? Biden administration approves massive arms deal for Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. They're selling them, quote, Patriot missiles. Isn't that a nice name? Surface-to-air missiles, Patriot. Has nothing to do with a Patriot. That's Orwellian propaganda. And these Patriot missiles are made by Raytheon, the second largest defense contractor in the United States. And the head of the Department of Defense, Lloyd Austin, just came from the board of directors of Raytheon. Merger of state and corporate powers. Fascism. Presidents kill because they can. That was the title of this Wednesday's Celente and the Judge on YouTube. Celente and the Judge. And he goes on, Judge Napolitano, how they've curtailed our civil liberties and how they keep starting war after war after war based on lies. And they're killing us and other people. And there are no protests. No protests. Scott Ritter, one of the speakers at the Peace and Freedom rally, said in an article he just wrote, after the $40 billion aid bill to Ukraine, one of the senators who took umbrage over Rand Paul's not wanting to insert language into the bill that this was they wanted an inspector general to oversee the waste. Chucky Schumer said, it is, quote, repugnant that one member of the other side, the junior senator from Kentucky, chose to make a show to obstruct Ukraine funding. Not funding, murder. A junior senator, this nothing of a boy, is a senior senator. We have evil people running and ruining our lives. They're right in front of us. They're mentally ill. Yep. President Dwight D. Eisenhower said, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex in his farewell address, January 17th, 1961. And everything he said came true. They're in total control of our lives. There's an article out on another topic in Yahoo. Why brushing teeth is key to long life. 6 ways gum disease can lead to major health problems. So I started reading this article, and then way down it says, those with gum disease were 9 times more likely to die of COVID-19. An international team finds COVID patients are 3 times more likely to end up in intensive care or on a ventilation if they are already suffering from periodontitis. Around half the world's population over 30-year-olds suffer from it. So they're saying that those with gum disease were 9 times more likely to die from COVID? That's a lot. How come this isn't news? Instead, we just heard the guy Fauci say that everybody should get boosted and get the shots this coming fall because COVID's going to get you. And he's fully boosted, fully vaxxed, and got COVID. Biden, fully vaxxed, fully boosted, got COVID. German health minister, Karl Lauterbach, who is quadruple vaxxed. And there's a guy that's a strong proponent of face masks. Guess what? Got COVID. Why are they keep selling this? It's not working. And why aren't they talking about who's getting it and why? Never mentioned. This is an article, big article, in the Wall Street Journal this past week. COVID-19 pandemic changed Americans' health for the worse. Heart disease and stroke went up, drug and alcohol use, mental health. Yep, one thing after another went up. It's not the COVID-19 pandemic that changed America's health for the worse. It's the politicians draconian mandates in the communist country of America, the communist fascist state, that imposed these mandates that destroyed, not only in the United States, but around the world, the lives and livelihoods of billions of people. They're blaming it all on the pandemic and not the people responsible for it. This is terrible. The people should be held accountable for what they've done. Remember, they were going to flatten the curve. Only 15 days. Only another month. Only another year. Only another 2 years. No job, no jab. Oh, you can't find workers. Wonder why. Could that be any part of it? We are going to hell in a government handbasket. By their deeds you shall know them. Every day, every day, every day, more war, more hate, more violence, and more dictatorial mandates to control our lives. Don't do anything. I can't stand these people that say, I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. Hope is the most negative word in the metaphysical dictionary. It's wanting something to happen without doing anything. So do what you can to support the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice. We're doing everything we can to support life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So please go to our website, freedompeacejustice.com, and do what you can. Or occupypeace.com, occupypeace.com. Thank you, and please do what you can to spread the word of peace as it's blacklisted from society. Thank you. And amen and amen.